Hi, I'm Ricky Young, and it's time for your daily update on government and politics news. Well, a stalking horse initiative, or one criticized for being that way regarding a minimum wage in San Diego, has gone by the wayside. This was a proposal that affected fewer businesses than the proposal brought forth by San Diego City Council President Todd Gloria, but now this one is no longer happening, no longer collecting signatures as a sort of competing measure. And here to tell us all about it is politics editor Michael Smolens. Well, Michael, what's happened?
Well, basically, just as you mentioned, they just couldn't get enough horsepower behind it in terms of signatures. I think also once Todd Gloria ratcheted back his minimum wage increase, remember, it was going to be up to $13.09 over 3 years. Now it's $11.50. This woman, Blanca Lopez Brown, suggested that maybe, it's a more amenable thing. She's not in support of it, but as she pointed out, she said, she entered this in before they even knew what they were talking about, before Gloria came up with a figure, and she wanted to make sure businesses were protected.
Yeah, did you get a sense that she was really functioning for business, or is she a real proponent of a minimum wage? Because this left a lot of businesses in the city out, according to some of the early reports, like 90% of the businesses or something?
Exactly, and I don't believe that she is, to be quite honest with you. We all thought
she's
that...
She's a Democrat, right?
Yeah, she ran for city council, yes,
yeah.
But very pro-business Democrat. We all thought this was, sort of the business community's way to kind of counter and overcome and get the poison pill aspect on the Gloria measure, but clearly they don't seem to be putting much behind it. There's just a few days left to gather signatures, and they're, a third to a half short. They're just not going to get it.
So, and what do you think that means for Gloria's thing? You think it improves the odds, or?
Well, they've got a tough time to do this or a tough go because they've been negotiating, they've been changing. We've got the minimum wage increase. It's also tied in with 5 paid sick days. They're talking about, do they split those apart? So, there seems to be a little bit of a disarray, and they really need to decide within the month whether they're going to put this on the ballot, try to pass it just as an ordinance. And it seems like the momentum's kind of dying for this a little bit. And as we know, on Tuesday, July 1, the new state minimum wage increase kicks in. So there will be focus on that. And some people, I'm sure, will be saying, why are we moving that far ahead of the state, and the rest of the area might hurt the competition here.
Also a state effort going on about the sick days, right?
Absolutely, yes. Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez has a bill that seems to be moving through and probably will get past the legislature that would statewide require 3 paid sick days from all businesses. And of course, most businesses, UT and others, do have some sort of business, sick time or PTO, but the smaller businesses are the ones they're really targeting. And of course, those are the ones that are going to be the most hurt. They don't have quite the margin of error to pay for these things.
Now, on the minimum wage, if they do an ordinance versus an initiative, I guess it'd be harder to pass an initiative, but then it's more rock solid, right?
Yeah, it really always intrigued me that they thought going the initiative route because, a change in the council could just upend that, and it doesn't take many votes to do that at this stage. It seems less secure. You'd think that you would want the public support behind it, that it would be something more permanent. I think they also figure that it would be easier to combat an effort to overturn it on the ballot, because an ordinance, as we've seen, can go, a relatively small effort can overturn it by referendum.
Well, whichever way they go, we know that you'll keep us on top of it, and we always appreciate that, Michael. Thanks very much. Please tune in next time for your Government Minute.